Okay, YouTube. This is Chloe Narwhal. Sorry for the shitty quality of my phone camera, but we're gonna be going in depth of my hybrid deck that I have for Magic, otherwise known as a rainbow deck. I just like calling it a hybrid deck since it's multiple. What I did was I split mine into multiple parts: my instants and sorceries, land, my zombie cards, my multicolor legendary cards, artifact cards, but also I have like 2 cards in here that help golems, since I have a lot of golems in here that help. My enchantments, my Ayuras and enchantments for creatures, and my regular creatures. So we're going to start out with, we'll start with artifacts since that's a big part of rainbow decks to me. These help. Anyways, this right here, it regenerates golems, so that will help, and this just gives my golems vigilance, so I don't need that. A lot of equipment and adding mana. So let me sort these out. Most of these just give me mana. Let me put them in order. I don't know where I'm supposed to. I'll put that right there. That would be 5 of them. Equipment, artifact, and then I'll put my golems in their own little separate pile since they're lovely. And I love my golems. Once again, guys, sorry for the shitty quality. And that goes right there. And these 2 go right here. We're going to start off with my regular artifacts. Because they're not so shitty. This is Tower Calamities. This just, like, for 8 mana, you can basically destroy, like, any powered card. So that just helps to have on the field. So you can just, like, destroy a card every turn if you have 8 mana. This actually helps for zombies, because it puts the target player puts the bottom card of their library into the graveyard, and if it's a creature, you put a 2/2 zombie token onto the field. So that really helps, because I have zombie cards that I'll get into depth after this, actually. This just changes mana color for you. No, wait, what am I doing? Hungry. That, just adds a mana of any color to your pool. This makes it so creatures can't come from graveyards. So if you're reversing in front, he's being like a bitch and he's using resummon decks. Like using Rise from the Graves like I do. Oh, that's perfect. This shuffles my cards back, creatures back into my library, and that will give me a total of 15 health, really. And then these go back into it with it, because that'll help. That, for 1 mana, it adds a Swamp and a Fire. That's really helpful when I'm using my dragons. That gains me a life, and I add 1 mana to my pool. It's gone. That I can sacrifice and search for a land of my choice, and that's the card. It just, you can change any mana to any color, really. So if I wanted to use like that mana that wasn't like anything like this Prime Talisman, I could just change it to any color mana I wanted to. Okay, for equipment, I only have 2 equipment for some reason. I'm not sure why, but this just gives one of my creatures Shroud and Haste, and this just gives it +1/1 for each creature on the field. I like to put that on a Mossbridge Troll. Once again, I'll go into that later. My regular artifact cards, I have 2 Mold Steel Dragons for artifacts because, well, they only cost 4 mana and they're 4/4s. You can pay life and boost them up. That just turns into a 6/6 because I usually don't have 6 mana till I have 3 artifacts on the field. And he's a shapeshifter. Basically, for 5 mana, you look at the top 5 cards of your library and you put a creature into the battlefield and sacrifice him. That's all he really does. It's pretty cool, actually, if you have like an 8 mana creature. Okay, golems. This is Mastermind. It will, if you like use an instant that gives it like +5/5 on 1 single golem you control, it copies for every golem you control, so they all get +5/5. Which really helps, and that's 3/3/3s that come out in the field, so it gives it 2 tokens. this guy I got luckily like a couple weeks ago out of a booster pack. It's the Platinum Empyrean, whatever. But its power is life total can't change, so I just put Shroud on it, but I have enchantments now for it, which really help. That's just a 5/5 relic once you have 3 artifacts, and that's just a 5/7 golem that no one gives a fuck about. Anyways, that's it for the artifacts. They're the biggest part of my deck, that's why it's taking me like 5 minutes to do. Anyways, enchantments. We're gonna go over that before zombies. Once I have my Platinum Empyrean down, I have 2 of them, so it doesn't really count. But whenever a creature, at the end of each opponent's turn, if a player didn't play a creature spell this turn, I could put in basically 2/2 green lizard tokens onto the battlefield, which really helps a lot. And this is when I have my Platinum Empyrean down. Whenever a player taps the land for mana, that player deals 1 damage to that player. So, yeah, that just kills them pretty fast. Creatures you control can't be target spells or abilities, so basically they have Shroud. And you can regenerate creatures you control. And this just helps. Beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-zombie creature. At the beginning of the end upkeep, if there's no creatures on the field, you sacrifice it, but I usually have a lot of zombies. Okay, that wasn't that hard. Time for zombies. So I like it. Alright, start with him. He's a multicolor. He's blue-black. Sweet, my power's back on. I can go back to PlayStation. Anyways, he has Death Touch. Other zombies I control get +1/1, and whenever a zombie you control dies, opponent loses 1 life. Other zombies you control get +1/1, and for 2 mana and then a swamp, you can tap him and exile target creature card from a graveyard, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Under my control, that is. And him, discard a card. He's like a shaman. I'll just let you guys read that. You can pause the video and look at it. Okay, this is really nice. Rooftop Storms. I pay 0 rather than to pay the cost for zombie creature spells you cast. So I can put down all 3 of these instead of wasting my time. And these really help. Put a target creature card from a graveyard. Doesn't have to be my graveyard. Under your control, the creature is a black zombie, including its other types, and then that just regenerates my permanents. So that really helps. I'm gonna go over Euros right quick, since we're running out of time. I don't have to go over land, really, so it doesn't matter. Holy and Unholy Strength, that just like gives it +3/3. This is an 8th edition, just letting you guys know. That's why it has a white rim. Chant Artifact, that just gives me 6 life when it dies. Chant Creature gets +2/2 and has Regenerate this creature, that helps. I use him on my dragon because it's a red and green. And it gives it +2/2, double strike and trample. And this just is a curse for a player. And they can only play 1 spell per turn, which really pisses people off. I'm not gonna go over sorceries and stuff, because that's really pointless. They're just basics. Okay. I'm gonna go over all my multicolored legendary cards. He really doesn't do anything, he just destroys artifacts and enchantments, and whenever a creature attacks alone, they get +1/1, so that kinda helps. Broodmate puts 2 4/4 dragons onto the battlefield with flying. This is the guy I was talking about. Daragaz the Igniter. He's just awesome. And if he deals combat damage to a player, I can pay 2 mana and then a mountain. And then I choose a color, and then target player will reveal their hand, and I deal damage to the player equal to the number of cards of that color revealed. Then we got this guy. He's pretty cool. Sikuar Deathkeeper. He's an orc shaman. But whenever a non-token creature you control is put into the graveyard from play, put a 3/1 black and red Graveborn creature into the battlefield. So if you sacrifice like a 1/1, it comes back as a 3/1, which is pretty sweet. This is Treva the Renewer. He's pretty sweet. Just like the Daragaz, instead of a mountain though, you pay a plains and then 2 mana. If you do, basically you choose a color and then they reveal their hand, and I gain 1 life for each card of that type. But, oh fuck, 10 minutes, are you shitting me? Well, thanks a lot guys. Subscribe if you like Arnold Palmer and chocolate chips, I guess. It's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, my disk drive on my Xbox is broken, so if any of you guys want to play Xbox, I won't for a while. I'll release a guide for flashing P-Hat consoles in a little. Other than that, I'll be releasing some RuneScape private server videos and Magic the Gathering videos until then. Anyways, guys, have a nice day, and I'll release another video tomorrow for Magic. Anyways, have a nice day.